I just challenge our thoughts on so many different things, of views of how we really interpret over the years, where we've come to hear words like prayer, hear words like salvation. I mean, to me, it's a huge thought what we had before. How impotent do churches believe salvation is if they believe that you have to come every week to hear a message and give your money so that you can become a better person, so that make sure you'll go to heaven? That is a foul, poor thought of salvation.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the death of Jesus Christ to give us the salvation, but it's only good enough if I can manage it correctly? Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense anymore. And 20 million people leaving church are proving that it's not making sense.
Right. Well, it's because they're realizing it's not a transactional act. Like,
how do you call it free gift?
Right.
How do you call it free gift, but you have to go every week?
Right. Right.
How do you call it free gift, and then you are demanded to pay 10%? Okay, case in point. Have you ever heard a Christian message or something about on YouTube? Podcast?
Yep.
And YouTube and blogs you've read about. And then at the end of the message, do they say, please send your 10% check to...
No.
Hold on. You're telling me that you can freely get the Word of God on YouTube, on blogs, on podcasts, and people aren't declaring that you give them 10% of their money? Mm-mm. And my thought is, did the Lord create YouTube, podcast, blogs, the internet, because he's tired of his people being chained, and he wants people to freely hear his word without feeling that they need to give that 10%? Because now they can give that 10% to their ministry. I thought about one time, a pastor told me, he said, you can't give to your own ministry because, then it's like you're giving to yourself. And I thought to myself, hold on, you tithe to the church and you collect a salary from the church. Wouldn't that go against the thing that you've just said? Like, I'm like, did you just not listen to yourself? And I've heard another pastor even say, to the point of that the people of the congregation who gave the 10% every week, literally the pastor told me, it is not the people's decision of what happens with that money. They just need to believe God that it's going to the right place, being used for the right thing, and sit down, shut up, give your money, and we'll manage the rest and take care of everything. And I'm thinking, how is that valuing the people? Mm-hmm. And what if that thought is happening in all of these churches, consciously or subconsciously, for whatever purpose, right or wrong? But then what is if the Lord's sitting there saying, that's a wrong doctrine, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to produce podcasts that go out for free. I'm going to produce videos that go out for free. I'm going to produce websites. I'm going to give social media so that people can make connections and not feel the obligation of giving because I want to do something different on earth.
Yeah. And then people are free to do with their money what they want, like to give out of their heart and not to give out of obligation. And there's so much, it's so much more fulfilling almost when you can give out of your heart than when you're giving out of obligation. Like when we do acts of kindness and we go and we bless people. And even my own children, I haven't taught them about tithing. They get allowance every single week. And I'm like, listen, there's going to come a time where you're going to see somebody and you're going to want to bless them. You're going to want to give them money. You're going to want to do something with them. So every time I give you your allowance each week, why don't we take a little bit of it and set it aside? Because there will come someone in your life that you're going to want to touch. And so every week we sit down, I have their little money envelope. They give me and I let them choose. I don't say, I do say don't give me coins. But I don't say you need to give 10% or you need to give this. And my kids give more.
Right.
Than 10%. Not because I say awesome? I don't want change, but because they will give me 2/3 of their allowance for giving and then save a little bit and then have $1 for the whole entire week.
I mean, but I think about the same exact thing, though.